How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. If I were to start with $1,000 right now, how would I turn it into 10x during the next bull run? What's a simple 5 crypto portfolio? That's what I'm going to be going over today. And to be clear, this is not for everyone. Not all of these are super sexy cryptos. They have huge, sexy narratives. Some of them are just tried and true. They've been around for a while. For example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin may have a sexy narrative outside of crypto. Like if you're not already in crypto, maybe you think, wow, this is revolutionary. But if you've been in crypto for a while, a lot of people think that you're old, that you are a boomer for investing in Bitcoin and that you're boring. But for most of the world, that would be a very risky investment. Now, we're going to be going through the top 5 cryptos that I would buy. And again, not super sexy the whole time. Some of them are just going to do really well over time. They're less risky, but they're still going to provide good returns. And I want to go through this. Of course, if I leave a crypto off the list that you like, let me know in the comments, but I can't include every crypto that everyone likes. So keep that in mind. This is just my own opinion, and there are cryptos that I own that aren't even on this list. I'm making a very simplified list. Now, right off the bat, I want to say the important thing to do when constructing a portfolio in crypto is making sure that you at least keep up with Bitcoin. You can't lose to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is less risky than every other cryptocurrency out there. So if you're investing in altcoins, you're taking on more risk and you're getting a smaller return. Obviously, you're doing something wrong. Now, one way that you can kind of track this is by signing up underneath the video to BagTracker AI. This is a website that I'm making with just a few other people to track all your net worth in one place, including cryptocurrencies, cash, stocks, track loans, all that. And you can pre-register today. We're going to be able to show you your whole net worth in Bitcoin and see how it's going up or down, depending on if you're actually outperforming Bitcoin. You can sign up, put in your name, email, and then what you want to see tracked, and we will track it as best as we can. We're trying to include a lot of feedback at the beginning here. So nothing that you have to do besides pre-register underneath the video. Now, as I said, you have to keep up with Bitcoin. Right now, I am under the assumption and under the thinking that Bitcoin dominance will go up. What does that mean? Basically, that Bitcoin's price versus the rest of the market will go up. So if Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market will go down more than Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin's going to go up more than most of the market. Now, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to outperform every single crypto in the top 100. That is basically what you're trying to do when you're investing in altcoins. You're trying to figure out whatever crypto is moving up the most, right? You want to find whatever is going to perform the best. That's very difficult, I'll be honest. After investing for years, it is hard to determine what's going to do better than Bitcoin. So it's all about adjusting your risk, making sure that you're investing in cryptos that you see forming partnerships, gaining usage, gaining value locked in the protocol, and trying to avoid any kind of big catastrophes. For example, Salana was a cryptocurrency that a lot of backers were in FTX. FTX had that big blow up, and Salana fell very quickly. I mean, we're talking 40%, 50% in a day, something like that, which can cause your wallet to go down drastically. And I'm not saying that Solana is not good. I'm actually saying the opposite today in this video. But you want to avoid something like that if you're going to go in and put money into Salana. Now, I will say, if I had a portfolio of just $1,000, I would really focus on trying to make more money, to put more money into that portfolio. I also believe in diversification, but for this video, let's just get started. The first crypto I would include on this list is Bitcoin. I know people are going to be groaning out there, oh, Bitcoin's so boring, but the fact is every single day we see some big event that happens that makes me more bullish for Bitcoin. For example, the Israel war. When the war broke out just a few days ago, there's news that the U.S. is going to help them in any way possible, which means sending them aid, which means printing money, which means the U.S. is more in debt, which means it's harder to get out of debt, which means that we're going to have to print more money, and that shows why you would want Bitcoin, because Bitcoin can't be printed. It is scarce, right? You can mine only so much Bitcoin per day, and there's no way to artificially increase that because you need to send aid somewhere. Now, I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying that's how Bitcoin works. There's never going to be some politician that decides we need to print more of it. So things like that happen all the time, which reinforces why you want Bitcoin. Now, the price has been kind of boring the last 6 months. It is one of the best performing assets on the year, but that really hasn't changed anything over the last 6 months. As you can see here, 6 months down 4.05%, but year to date up 69%. Part of that is just due to liquidity. We don't have a lot of liquidity in the system. The Fed keeps on increasing rates, so people don't invest in higher risk assets like this. Big money managers can't invest yet because they can't buy a spot ETF. A lot of them aren't willing to hold their own keys or hold the crypto themselves. So that's just a problem that's happening right now, but that will most likely be overturned or be changed, and the SEC won't be able to deny the spot ETF. Most likely, that's my assumption, that they will approve one in 3 to 6 months around the next Bitcoin halving, which would kick off a mega bull run around the same time that the Fed's looking at maybe lowering rates a bit, and we have the Bitcoin halving. So I think that this is very likely to do very well. And I think it's less risky than just about every crypto. I think dominance will go up from here on out too for the next little while. So that's why I am positioned very heavily in Bitcoin myself. So I would put Bitcoin as a heavy weighting into this portfolio. Now, from there, I would buy some Ethereum. Again, in the perfect world, I would go very, very heavy on Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin's going to outperform. But I would probably be looking at Ethereum and maybe not even buy it right now, maybe not buy these other cryptos right now. I might wait just a little while and put most of it in Bitcoin right now. But eventually there's going to be a time where dominance goes so high that you're going to want to invest in altcoins, and Ethereum is one that I would invest in. As you can see here, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. It's breaking down. We continue to see lower lows, and this is all the way back to September of 2022. So over a year, we've seen lower lows, lower highs very consistently, and then we just broke this downtrend. So as I said in yesterday's video, we could see a drop to this level right around 0.05, which would be a significant drop from here. Again, we're talking about 14%, and that's Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum could drop more than 14%. If Bitcoin goes up, it could be less. Ethereum could actually go up, and then again, ETH, Bitcoin go down, depending on how much Bitcoin's going up. So that is something that I'd be watching for, see when we hit support. But I like Ethereum in general. We have seen it become deflationary since the burn started, and Ethereum is sound money. It is something that probably will be deflationary over time. A lot of big asset managers do want to buy Ethereum, especially because it will give a yield, and it's widely used. It's got the most adoption of every other crypto out there. Now, is it going to move up in the next bull run as much as something like Salana or Cardano or Polygon or a lot of these other small cryptos? Probably not, because it is larger, but as I said, it is less risky. So I would add that to my portfolio because I just think that it's a great asset to hold for the long term. The next that I would add to this list is something that I actually don't have right now. It's something that I am looking to buy more of for the next bull run. Salana. Salana is really interesting. It's sitting around $22 right now. And say hello to the wife. She's getting ready for a wine tour today. But Salana is something that I am looking at getting for the next bull run. It recently had a large inflow on the CoinShares Investor Weekly Report. $24 million, the largest we've seen in over a year. And there's probably good reason for that. Salana is very cheap, very efficient, very quick. This just came out. Just one game on Salana is doing more daily transactions than all of Polygon. Sage Labs, a web game from the team behind Star Atlas, made up 15% of all Salana activity on Sunday and surpassed Polygon network total. So this is obviously growing very quickly. They saw 2.29 million transactions on Sunday, surpassing the total amount for Polygon, the entire Polygon network, by about 256,000 transactions. So far, they've seen over 16 million total transactions since its launch last month. So it's actually gaining some adoption. And I'll be honest, I've heard of Star Atlas a lot, but I hadn't really heard much about this recently. But if this can break mainstream, this will break crypto. This will break the internet. Everyone will be buying Salana if this goes mainstream. Everyone will be trying to buy some because there will be hundreds of thousands or millions of people getting into crypto that have to buy Salana for even just a small amount for transactions. And real world adoption is what we're looking for in the crypto space. Salana has come down a lot since the previous peak. It's around a $9 billion market cap right now, but I think it could easily 10x in the next bull run if it gains real world adoption. I would also buy Polygon. Polygon is one that I hold right now. I don't have enough for the next bull run, but I have some. I definitely cut down on my Polygon going into the bear market to buy more Bitcoin to preserve my capital. But they continue to announce more and more partnerships, more and more companies and governments that they're working with. I mean, Polygon signed second big partnership with Indian government. Here's a list of a bunch of the other companies that they've worked with: DraftKings, Adobe, National Football League, Starbucks, Adidas, and Prada, Walt Disney, Meta, Stripe. They work with all the big players, and there's a reason for that. They're also cheap. They're also quick. I don't think they're as cheap and quick as Salana. I don't think they can scale as much, but I do think that they have a better marketing team at this point than Salana. And I'm pretty excited about where Polygon's going. Now, I will say, people that I know that have been in crypto for a long time, and I'm talking about been in crypto, like worked at crypto companies for years, love Salana. They absolutely love it. This is what they're most bullish on, maybe outside of Bitcoin, but maybe even more than Bitcoin. So this is something that I'd pay attention to. Now, moving on from there, the fifth spot on this list, it's tough. At this point, I am looking for smaller cryptos because honestly, there's just a lot of opportunity. If you can make it through a bear market and build and then come out stronger or come out with a crypto that's small, you can do really well. There's always new cryptos that pop up in the top 10, top 20 that are new. Now, picking those is difficult. I have a list of different cryptos I'm looking at. One is Inspect XYZ. I probably will be buying some of this. It hasn't come to the market yet, but it's the first layer one for Twitter, they say. They also have some tools for people to get ahead in crypto as well. I'm not a paid promoter of this. It's just one that I'm looking at now. Transforming Crypto Twitter, NFT Inspect partners with MoonPay. So they have made some big partnerships recently, including MoonPay, Avalanche, also Polygon. So cryptos like this I'm paying attention to. At this point though, it's just something that I'm watching. They haven't even come out with the crypto yet, but something like that, it's a small, fully diluted market cap. I think it's 12 million, or it will be 12 million. But there are other cryptos too, similar to that I'm watching. At this point, I think we will see another great opportunity where no one wants to touch crypto. No one wants to buy. There's some kind of big event. That's always the case though. People always feel that way before it's too late. Like there could be some good piece of news that comes out and then we never come back to these levels ever. I'm talking about ever in your life. You're looking back, just like we look back now at Ethereum at $200, $300. We could be looking like that at 16, where we just never touched it. We wish we had gotten in heavier earlier, which is why I think it is important to buy and not hold off completely, because even right now, we were at $16,000 less than a year ago, and I bet you wish you could have bought more then. Of course, you didn't know that we weren't going to go lower, but that's the important thing, is to get some amount of crypto, because this is too good an asset class that will probably move up, at least in my opinion, to not have any. You want to be exposed a bit to crypto, even if you think we're going to fall further, if you're bullish on this market overall. This is one of the only things in the world that when the price goes down, you usually don't want to touch it. If your clothes got less expensive, or food got less expensive, or gasoline, or vehicles, you would not be unhappy. You would be excited. You would be more likely to buy. But assets, we don't feel that's the case. And we need some amount of crypto. If you think Bitcoin's going to hit a certain point in the future, let's say $500,000, $1 million, something like that, you want to buy as much as you can. And how do you do that? Well, it falls lower and then you can buy more. So just keep that in mind. If it's a good asset, you want to buy it when it's undervalued. Same thing with the stock market. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this list. Would you include anything else on this list? Again, there are cryptos I like that were not part of this list. I can only add so many. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, check out Bag Tracker underneath the video in case you want to see a little bit more about what we're going to do and pre-register. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.